So, it's not for you. It's your show. Hello? It's your show.
No.
Dear team, this is this honor that we'll be praying for and the privilege that we'll be praying for. And in the house today, we are so grateful to God to have Africans at Microsoft here at Community Division. This is a round of applause. You may not know that the program we are going to witness today took some people not of sleepless nights, even until last night, yesterday, even until this morning. We have some member of the team from Microsoft who could not sleep at all just to ensure that this program happens. And it means that it is important that you guys must get value from this engagement. Again, my name is Sonny Bego, and I'm a mentor here at Communication Hub. And I have another young man there, Mr. Adewale Oseni, who's also a mentor here. Please have a applause from Adewale. This vision was given to us in the year 2016. I could not show you the slide now. It started from a city room, my city room. I'm a public school teacher. It started from a city room, and the reason behind that is because I want to impart the life of my students, and I was looking for ways to reach out to them. And there are no resources in the school. There are no facility. There's no lights. And in my house, I was prepared to just move to this estate that time, and I realized there's always light in the estate. That was how I converted my laptop, my wife's laptops, and I got 2 other desktops. And we started this CIH there. And the business started from there. We started having young people from my school. We come and learn after school, and we have some teenagers who are out of school who come to learn at that hall every single day for free. It started like that, and as God will have it. This journey wouldn't have been possible without the support of my wife. I have Esther there, Madam Esther is one of the mentors. And there's some mentors who could not make it to this event today because we have a lot of mentors who are doing stuff to support this community innovation hub virtually. We have Mr. Banji here, who believes so much in this vision. From 2016, he has been doing this to support this vision since 2016 up to now. And just 2 years ago, Mr. Adewale came and said, it is time for us to move. We have tried, he has been trying with us in that room, and over time, we realized that the place is not enough to take more people again, to accept the out of school teenager again, because we realize in this community that we are, this is the largest estate that you can think of in Lagos. It is called Jack and the Estate. And beyond that, we have a lot of young people who are out of high school who don't have opportunity to get to university 2 years, 3 years down the line. Some of them they may be head girl, they may be head boy. What is the reality? The challenges of economy, the challenges of how to solve one to go to school. So we decided to set up the Community Innovation Hub as a jumpstart platform that provide them the skills, that provide them volunteer experience, that at the end of the day, by the time they were able to, they spend the minimum of 3 months, 1 year at the hub. Some of them will attract global scholarship. Some of them will attract opportunity for fellowship, and they'll be able to leapfrog poverty and move out of this country to go to global universities around the world. As we speak today, we have a young man who is going to join us virtually or physically, Jonathan, who came to join us when we started in our school. And Jonathan came all the way from Delta because he was my student in school. He got relocated out of Lagos State because of challenges of economy. His father could not continue with rent, and they moved to Delta State. But being my former student, reached out to me that he would like to come and stay with me. And we accepted Jonathan to the home. Jonathan was here with us for 1 year. And within the space of 1 year, Jonathan speak now, got into a masterclass scholarship outside the country. Let's go to Jonathan. Suddenly, when we move into this place, we decided to have young people that were providing that training for. We have the like of Titilayo Adeyemi, and this guy was so passionate about what they do. They were so committed. And just this year, the same Titilayo, just like I just said here, the same Titilayo that came to this place, we had knowledge of computer knowledge of how to code, no background knowledge. And then when she got to this place, within the space of 6 months, Tila was privileged to meet the richest man in the world. Big. This is the picture here. In this way, we have Tila. And Tila was able to, because she was able to build solutions around virtual reality and climate change around web by ADM who built robotic projects. And as we speak now, the two of them are out of the country in South Africa. It's a vision that looks impossible. But with the help of God and the commitment of this job, because at times some of them will decided to stay here late. Some of them will even tell us that we prefer to stay here because they're here. They have access to facilities to use here. They may not have the best laptop, but they struggle with the little things they have here. Life is very important, and this help them get us to understanding that light, electricity is powerful to transform the life of your people. Just give them light and put a device in their hands. They can do the magic. And in this place, we're going to have a lot of young people here who are developing the solution, and they will showcase that to us in the course of the program. I want to welcome Mr. Yeni to do
Are we all excited to be here today? Yes, sir. I like the excitement on your face. Are we all excited to be here today? Yes, sir. Wait, are the people outside also watching us? They are watching us.
live. They are watching online.
Yes. Okay, great. I think this journey that happened today, I think we've overcome it, but it had to happen. I know better time it will happen like now. Right? So, in your midst, just like what Soji has said, we have Africans at Microsoft, but more importantly, we are all Nigerians. We work at Microsoft, the ABC, the Africa Development Center. That's true. Just in Microsoft engineering, where we don't just sell Microsoft products and services, but where we build those solutions that some of you may have used or will use. In our midst here, we have about 12 of us that came. I have Donald Okafor. Now that's the problem. But I'm going to come to take you further. It's Sunday. I don't tell you. Monday, right? Monday. She's also here. I have a guy, S.O. I also have Ido Asuma. I have the one with two names, Fatai Babawandi. I didn't call you here because you are like very used to this community. But actually, one person is still coming, Michael. I hope he gets here before we leave. But we are super excited to be here. Like super excited to be here. And what we believe today will turn out to be is a day of a lot of, like, I don't want to use the word transformational because that's a mouthful, but I think a shift in mindset. question, be your authentic self, right? And of course, what you wish for will definitely happen. Okay? So be open, no formal. Okay, you just say I do not speak too much English. Come on, same level, forget it. You dey feel me? Yes, sir. Okay, so this gives you an opportunity to express yourself. Okay, we have some activities lined up. I think one of the core things is first to introduce ourselves. We know you know us, and I think Soji has helped us to set the tone for that. Soji and team will take us, just a walkthrough around this facility. I came here the other day and I know that this is one side, there's one side out there, there's one side here, there's one side there. You climb the staircase, there's another side. Yeah, very, very well organized, right? But we'll go through that. Once we are done with that, before something asks me anything, I have four of my colleagues that they will literally introduce themselves and you can ask them anything. Anything in terms of how did they start their career, what do you need to do to become somebody like them, what kind of roles can somebody aspire to get into Microsoft and all that. Everything you need to understand, even if it has to do with your understanding of your codes. You don't know how to, you are still struggling, maybe it's your data structure, anything. Even you can ask them the best question I like talking about when people ask me is, what football club do I support? I say I support the best club ever. That's Arsenal. Yes. You are the best club ever. I understand. I always say this, so it's not new. Yeah. So anything, you can ask anybody anything, right? Then after then, so you have said there are some people who have some projects that you want to show us, right? We also want to understand how you think about innovation, what problems are you solving, this your solution, this is the impact that you're creating. So we are all open to listen, watch, and also give feedback on those projects. Then we go into our mentoring session. I hear some of you are into software development. I also hear some of you are into robotics, AI, and some of you are also interested in project management. We will break, into different segments whereby you have our team members here to work with you, mentor you, and of course give you guidance, open and hold you on how you should, go on that particular trajectory. I've also told that there are some people here who are outstanding that have done so much work that the hub actually wants to award them for the great things they have been doing. So we do that. Then we take pictures. Then we will leave. The plan is to be there by 2:30, but I know that we are about 1 hour delay, but we'll see how much we can do to fit into that 2:30 today. My team, representatives from Microsoft, they all need to get back to the island, and we don't want to get into the traffic, But with that, don't say that for. Don't say we put that together. Don't say that. That's so we feel, right? And at the end of the day, we just want you to be inspired. Huh? What's the name again? Matthew. Where's the other lady like him? Telling me there's a third lady, Damola. So Damola, Matthew, and Pelumi, they stopped over at the office on Friday. And I'm sure that when they came yesterday, they will not be bulldozing entire mess, entire life. Man, that place, not be normal human beings. But I can tell you for free, this is who we are. One thing we post about is that you don't get into that facility and you see any white skin person. You know what I mean? All of us are we. Okay? One thing you would also identify is the fact that you only have females, you have males. But Nigeria is supposed to be all male, no? No. That's what stands us apart. Okay? So if you are a female here and you're saying, this sector is a little bit difficult, I think I have your friends here who are females. Right. So, what I'll advise you, by the time we go for that talk and come back, you should start preparing your questions because you have the opportunity to ask my colleagues here anything. Are we together on that? No, I don't. Are we together on that? No, I don't. Are we together on that? I'm not hearing you. Are we together on that? Here, 4 chairs for our team members that will be part of the AMA. And once we come back, bingo, we hit the ground. That statement has been very. I will continue running. Okay? All right. Soji, they'll take the lead. So they take direction from you. Okay. So let's follow Mr. Wale as he takes us through the tour of the facility of CIA. And once again, a round of applause for ourselves. Where students take 4 months to go and come back another 2 months later, they do something very good. So, that section right there is where we do anything crisis or that. Yeah, these are the Sorry, excuse me.
Okay, how about this quality? Okay.
For about 2 hours every Saturday. Some talks, and the other thing where they actually start normally every Saturday. Okay. I'm sure taking out something right? So I give whenever I give you, I give you something more in depth. For this thing, um, we apply for grants, support programs. Anytime we see them online like that, right, we apply. Right? When I did so within about within 25 hours, we were not. But we apply for different grants. However, we did um, about 25% subject, and then the remaining 25% is being resource. Now, you see that 25% is like every 10%. So we also have individuals who will be like for every 2%, we have like that. Although that we have to separate few that because of the recent technology changes. But so we used to fund full houses, full houses, full houses. Full houses, White House, tuition, just so that we can keep the place open. That have affected so let's say electricity. Okay, so one of the things that we able to do is the grant was is manufacturing. Okay, so we have an inverter which have like who are looking to enjoy some of the things around set, but do not have these women can come here, book an appointment. We charge, I think, 500 rand a child, because it's a good consider. So we charge 500 a child with the delay, and then everyone can attend. Set them up. We have a couple of robotic kits. We have the discontinued Reno 2.4 robotic kits. We have airports, and then a couple of activities. And then right now, we have the battery. You can see we have two batteries. If I would use it this morning. So, they are going to ask the question. Yes.
How do you decide like
Okay. Yes. So one of the things we've enjoyed is the opportunity to go and represent at some Lagos State, which sort of gives us an idea of some of the things that they would want us in the past, right? So we use a combination of some of the things that they are doing outside the country with what Lagos State wants people here to be learning, to piece it together. But Lagos State is all about coding, right? So we do for coding, and then when it comes to electronics, because we know a lot of those students from wherever they are, they can't do electronics. We use a website, Tinker Pad, and then sorry,
what we
one week, and one week, which allows them to simulate all of those things virtually right on their phone. Or, yeah,
But how much success have you done over the years? I guess stories you can tell how people that's possibly do and how that's affect them.
Okay. I was not around when Sophie was talking, but I do remember you mentioned Jonathan. I don't know if you mentioned Sheila. Okay, so there is Sheila, another student that is currently on the 100th class of the master studying outside the country. There is Abida. Abida is currently a fellow with no worries.
So why I'm asking that question is to understand when the folks come to join, right? What is their time? What's their goal? What are they looking at? Like trying to
Now, we do not refer to ourselves as a computer as the community innovation. The main goal is to help students think. There are instances where we have parents with their child and say, "Oh, I want to start the day is correct." You may want the child to learn this because this is what is obtainable. But the best thing you can do is to teach the child to be creative and innovative. So that even when the jobs in the future changes, the child can change, and make this switch. So we try to we're trying to raise people, we're trying to raise people who make life easy for others. We're just not about creating solutions ourselves. But for every one of them to be out there, if you're not going to have a very nice employment, appreciate a very nice employment, for other people. So the main thing is first to be orientation. We understand that not everyone are going to be there are some of it that will end up and one of the things we do, one of the approaches that we take is to build their mental capacity. We also build their personality as a person. Aside from all the techniques that we do, our Wednesdays is dedicated for personal development. When we talk about various topics around, so there's one of our colleagues with us, but she's not around now. So we talk about the personal development, how they can become better people. Now, after that, we also start the opportunities. So one of the things we do when it comes to opportunity is that we do our best to see through them, see the one that they are really good for, right? And then we prepare them for it. They are like the young girl right there. She by January, been hoping that she too would do it, but she got scholarship. Adeyemi also got the same scholarship. Yeah. And I think we have a couple of announcers. So, who, this young man here would also be South African general for the same program that so we just here there we don't know what your opportunities out there are. So we just present the general business and then we start the internet. Oh yes, so that's the thing. When we started we wanted to just focus on 10 to 20 maximum, right? But over time you get a lot of friends saying as if you go downstairs and begin to ask their locations, you'll be surprised we have to come all the way from the state. Yeah, all the way from the state. Everything is covered. And the interesting thing is, immediately class ends, you would expect that they're the first carry their bag and it's it to lose it. Sometimes I'll be the one that will drop it halfway. Sometimes I'll drop it halfway, just so they can get it. So we had to extend that from 20 to 25 now, and that's because we now have university graduates done serving, and I just want to do so because we have a couple of them. Yes, we are. In fact, there was a conversation where I was celebrating about 2 days ago. Also, the was was telling us about the university where but like it was all those things that happened. It took us about 5 years to this to. And the interesting thing is that while we recorded some really good success there, not everyone was so it is important to know that even when we're starting any other place, right? We want to be better positioned. We don't want to go through that same journey because
Are we all there? Okay, yes. Sure. Where is Sergio? Please, can you help me call Sergio quickly? So I'm going to do two sets. One will be a wide angle taking. Let's take picture, Mr. Sergio. Where is Mr. Sergio? Wait, I'm waiting for Sergio to come so that we have one at the bottom. One of
What's up?
Okay, do that again. I'm not. Okay, one down, one to go. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into it. So, just like we always do, let's bring our objectives. So we asked for high school and college. Right. So My bosses will introduce themselves. But before we go into the questions from your side, I just wanted to just share some things with you. Um, really very brief, just to just expand your view. How many of us know the median age in Nigeria is 17.3 years? You know, I know what that means. It means that if, for example, in Nigeria there are 200 million people, what it means that people below the age of 17.2, they are 100 million. And 17.3 upwards, there is another 100 million. Hope you know. So median age is like the middle. Now, think about it. If 100 million people are below the age of 17.3 and another above 17.3, it tells you that we have more young people in this country that their ages are around 17 years. Now, when you see this, you can see it is at that age people start taking a decision on how their future will be. It is at that age people start putting their hands into the right skills that would make them better individuals for the future. The mistake some of us on this side had made was we started deciding our future by the time we were ending our university. Then we are already 22, 23. We have lost focus, so much has brought us back. But what you guys have at the age of 17, you have a plus 5 years to leapfrog to the ages that we started thinking of, what do we need to do? And it helps you, it better helps you to be at par with people outside the school. Okay? So what I want to let you know is you are in your prime. If I look around, what I see is math, 16 to 19, 16 to 21 years. I don't need to check, but it's what I see. And I can be wrong and I can be right. Am I right? Yes or yes? Yes. Am I right? Yes or yes? Yes. Am I wrong? No or no? No. So that is what I see, and I have to say that because the guy is copying you. He has a very strong story. I'll call him out to say the story. And I'll allow him to tell that story. I know I like telling that story. It encourages a lot of people. At some point, I'll tell him you should tell that story. But one thing you should know is that the future is in your hands. And what the panelists here is help you focus, guide you, and ensure that you start taking this opportunity. Not tomorrow, not next week, not in 5 hours time, but now. Are we together? Are we together? C-I-H! 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 Thank you. I want to see your hands up. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What? 23 questions already. Okay, good. Thank you. Starting with Kelly.
Okay, so my question is, as a girl that wants to pursue a career in tech, how would I balance my tech career and, because I'll become a mother eventually, how do I balance it?
Okay. So, I wouldn't give it again.
Okay, what's your name? Can you tell us your name? Okay, thank you very much for that question. I would say for me, I'm a mother, I have two children. And yes, I've been married for 17 years. So it's really about, for me, what has worked for me is really about discipline, you know, trying to balance both getting all the support and help that I need to help me focus on the most important things. And it's really, it's always a juggle. Let me just put it that way. To be realistic, it's always a juggle. So there's some times when I would say these are the work seasons, and I need to focus a lot on, my work related items. And that's when I get a lot of people to help support me. So I could get people that could help me support in the house. And then there's seasons where it's all about the family. And I don't let work encroach on it. And I let the people at work know that, hey, this is family time, so I focus, on the family. For being disciplined, helps a lot. Having, um, what I say, helped me, having like skills to be able to manage my time effectively such that if, for example, I'm working and I go to work, I'm focused on work, and the moment I wouldn't go to the office and start fapping when I have work at my desk. So I go to the office and I focus on work for the work hours, maybe 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And once it's 5 p.m., I clock out. And because I've been focused on working work hours, I'm able to meet my work targets. And from 5 p.m., my family has me and I focus on the family. Yeah. But it's because that's the work that you have to do.
Okay. So I know I'm not a woman. But yeah, thanks for the question again. So I'm really impressed that you already kind of envisioning when you become a mother, right? It shows me how, right? So, but to add to everything Jacqueline said is important, correct. But to add to it, since you're already thinking that far, let me help you protect that far. When it's time to join the company, right? Be conscious to understand the culture of the company you're joining, right? That would help you a lot in balancing things, right? At Microsoft, for instance, we give as much as 5 months of parental leave for mothers, right? We give parental leave for fathers, right? So a lot of these things are things that you can confirm and find out before you join the company. Right? Companies where you're able to easily strike this balance because you can call in and say, I'm taking my kid to the clinic and it's not a problem. You can call in and say, I'm going to visit my kid at school and it's not a problem. Right? So if you're able to get a company that has a culture of making sure that your family is healthy and you're not distracted because of family, it makes it easier for you to juggle things that Jacqueline was saying. So we'll take multiple questions, right? So what's the name? Lara, the question. and see those questions. Right? So, last question.
CIH to the world. The question is very important for sure. It's actually the reality of many people, especially people from like not so privileged background. The truth of the matter is that the parents have a concern, right? They see a lot of people gamble their future, and if it doesn't work out, you will fall back on them. Like in your 30s, in your 40s, you still come back to them and they don't want that budget. That is why they will express concerns like this. So generally, in my experience, what I've discovered is that parents most times advocate what is safest for us, right? What's safe, what's a safe option. You go to school, you get a traditional degree, and you get a job. Hopefully the job pays well. But what is safe may not necessarily be what is best for you, right? And that's why this opportunity that is given to you now is coming at such a time like this. But nevertheless, you need to be able to show them something they can look forward to, something that can give them hope, something that can convince them that this investment you are making is worth it. I don't know if you understand. So that is like along the lines along which you need to begin to think. And what you can do is to have like milestones that you can share with them. Like I just started learning this, right? And this is what we are hoping to accomplish after 3 months, after. And then when you do it, you want to show it to them that, oh, this is where I was the last 2 months, this is where I am now. This is what I could do last 2 months, this is what I could do now. I don't know if you are following. And whenever you have an opportunity to maybe award them or to present your project, or you do something that really stands out that speaks to your skills, make sure that they have an opportunity to see it. Either they come here to witness you presenting it, or when you are done, take the pictures, take the videos, take them home. I don't know if you understand. Yeah, and you can even go further. Mr. Soji is here and you have a lot of matured mentors. These are people that have gone through life and they understand the importance of what you are doing. Your parents can speak with them. You get they want their like just to put their mind at peace and the rest that what this person is doing is taking the right step. I don't know if you understand. So once you do that, some other thing you can do is to show them an example. The success stories that they were sharing with us, people that start here in class with you, and today they're in South Africa, today they're in the US, take that story home and share it with your parents. So when they see that, oh, this thing you are doing, it has a future, it has an ability to turn your life around. with their office locations in the US, we might not be here today. Even if we had the opportunity to go work at Microsoft, we probably have relocated. So it's an initiative of Microsoft to reach out to African communities. They decided to locate their office here. I don't know if you understand. Yeah, so Microsoft's mission is to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. So today, because Microsoft has come to Nigeria and empowered us, we can come out and make an attempt to empower you. So there's that circle of like we are being empowered and then we are giving back. And the vision of the ADC is to spread not just to Nigeria but other African countries. So as Microsoft comes, she makes an investment in the community and then the community grows. So that's like one thing Microsoft is doing that we should actually celebrate. Thank you.
So 1, 2, 3.
My name is David. So, where did it all start from? The passion for tech. Where did it all start from? Was it scary at first? Where did it first start? Was it scary at first? You didn't know what you were going to do.
Okay. So hand over the mic. So was this scary at first? How did it all start from?
So like I'm a guy that when people ask me what do you want to become, I'm always like engineering. Unless they ask me what kind of engineering, because I'm like I don't want it to be like I want to study a course. I always want to have knowledge of everything under engineering. Like you spice them and share. I want to study every aspect of engineering, both electrical, technical. So like I don't know if there's anybody like that here. So I just want to know what you see about that. What you see about that.
I am sounding one of. As an student, with this one, this is the adventure for me to make sure to ask you, but I only have a passion for it. I don't really know anything about it.
Okay. So that's 3. Let's go. Okay, give him on the side. It's more like an educational career path in the health world was from. Yeah.
The first question here, what advice do you have for individuals? Like I said, I'm not student also. So I just have passion. Like at the late stage of my life, that I realized that I like to dance. When I was almost done with secondary school, right, that's when I realized that wow, I like something like do something like this was like sweet. So my question is, what advice do you have for individuals like that aspire to make it industry, especially like Microsoft?
Okay. Oh yeah. So let's come back. So it's not that we are, but I think it's sorry. The question from the name, sir, it was where did it all start from? Right, secondary school from your mom's womb. You understand? Then the second question is more or less if you want to do anything, engineering. Then the third is they are both the same questions asked and they are trying to get into them.
Okay. So, for me, I kind of stopped right? I always wanted to study medicine. So I was fully with science, but I wanted to study medicine, taking my job and wife and all of that. I didn't get admission. Apparently, I'm not that smart. So then I said, okay, well, we need to put this girl, well, we need to put this girl. Yeah, space is not necessary, but just that. That's why I ended up like, but then my curiosity grew, and actually, I switched from computer science to computer engineering, right? So that was how it started, right? Because we asked me how it all started. Was I afraid? Well, you know what they say, engineering is for boys, and there are not many girls there. But I wasn't afraid. I had a lot of female classmates. It was interesting, it was intriguing, it was rough because I went to a top school. I went to Enugu State University of Science and Technology. I didn't go to uni like college school. I went to very rough school. So that was how we started. But there was so much going on. There's always a lot going on in tech. Trends, they are trends all the time. You need to keep up. So sometimes I actually feel when this is a new one, am I going to keep up? Is this one happening and then that one happening? AI, and co-pilot, and all this, ML and all those very, very big impressive things. Are you going to be able to survive in this world? My advice is don't be afraid. Always be curious, right? You may not know everything, but if you're going to know one or two things, be the expert in whatever you want, in whatever you're interested in learning, right? You can just have broad knowledge of others, so you can have conversations with smart people and learn and grow more as you go along the way, right? But don't be afraid. I mean, the people in there don't have to get. I definitely don't have to get, right? So, yeah, so that was how it started. I don't know if you would like to hear some other person how it started.
So I'll take all the questions. I'll take your question and merge your question with theirs. Because trust me, yeah, that's what's happening. Right? That's what's happening. So you remind me of the name, sorry. Matthew. Okay. So Matthew, I like the fact that you want to broaden your horizon, right? You're ferocious, you want to learn a lot of things, right? You're interested in a lot of things. And that's the way it should be for you, right? For you at your age, at the level you are, be curious, explore, right? Don't limit yourself, right? Go after whatever interests you, read whatever comes across your way, right? So I would support the idea of you exploring and reading and experimenting across the board. Don't limit yourself. But what I would say is, as you begin to advance, begin to so the way we think at Microsoft is what you're doing is you're getting breadth, right? You know what breadth is? Like suffix, right? So spread, get your breadth, right? But then as you advance, begin to get depth. Does that make sense? So depth means begin to narrow down on a couple of things and build expertise in it. Because if you remain at the breadth level, you will know a little bit of everything, but you won't know one thing or two things very in depth. That's what's going to happen. So get all the breadth you need, but then know when to begin to zoom in, narrow down, and get depth. Does that make sense? Then, I think Olu and Salami, I can't remember the name of the third person. So I'm trying to, I'm going to make your question because what is it called again? Imposter syndrome, right? That's just what I get from what you're saying, right? I'm an art student. Can I even do this thing? What do I need to be able to do this thing? And you are saying, where did we start from? Were we scared? Maybe because if you're starting, you're not very sure, and all of that. So that's my understanding of the question. And I would say, the good thing about tech is democratic. There is no discrimination. Right? As a matter of fact, let me tell you something you might not know. Microsoft employs people that did not go to school. They don't have it. You're even talking about I'm an art student. These guys are not no students. Do you understand? And Microsoft is able to employ. So your passion is what is going to drive you to learn. Right? So you have what it takes. Your passion is what you need. Right? So if you're able to ride on that passion to learn, become an expert. As an art student, there are lots of places, if you feel the more scientific ones are not, something that resonates with you, there is a lot of creative aspect of tech you could pick up. There are designs, there's UI, there's UX, there's a lot of creative aspects of tech you can pick up. What you just need to do is leverage the passion you have and become a subject matter expert in something. Bam! That's it. And you tech person. There's nobody that was born tech person. We all build the skills.
Alright, so I will just try to be quick. I want to try to tell my story, the one you was talking about, because it touches on the questions that you asked. For me, I knew the exact moment that I got interested in technology. I was in primary six. I went for a competition and I won a very small notebook, like a laptop that's a mini laptop. So the very first day I put it on and it came on, that was my first encounter with the computer. From that day, I decided that whatever it is in the future, my own job will have to be working with computers. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know about programming. I just know that I want to work with computers. And that's where my own passion started from. And this part now, I don't encourage it, but I'm just telling you because my school, the passion put me in trouble. Right. So when I go to secondary school, we had the computer lab and all that, and you know the usual thing. They say you don't touch the computer. I'm sure here also they have some equipment that they say don't touch. So for me back then, I've changed now, but it was difficult. It was difficult to that instruction because of how passionate I was. In fact, there was a day our tutor he spoke from his heart. He was pained. And why are we doing this? When he spoke, everybody was sober. And he left us to reflect and think, and he left. But he forgot something. And when he came back, I was with two laptops in front of me. I wanted the ground to open up the country. But I'm just telling you, like, that's how passionate I was. That was the only instruction I could not hit. Don't touch the computer. Like, that's just what it was. For me, I came from Benue State. I grew up in Benue State. I came to Lagos for the first time in 2015. So that's like where I came from. I knew nothing about computers. I was not that exposed to a whole lot of things. It was from that laptop. I would open the laptop. It wasn't connected to the internet. But I would go through every menu, every application. I would click around from morning till night. I would shut it down and put it there. I woke up the next day and do the same thing. So I knew that I was passionate about computers. So that was all I set my mind to do. When I came to secondary school and it was time for me to pick their courses for JAM, I had a lot of smart friends. They were picking medicine, law, blah, blah, blah. I had only one thing in mind that I want to study computers. That's how much clarity I had. I don't know if you're following. Yeah, so that's how it started for me. Now to come to your questions, unfortunately, when it was time to pick like my course for JAM, I was told engineering is better than science. Like that was all I was told. So the question in my mind now was what engineering course will I study? Not what course is related to my passion, just what engineering will I study. So I went for computer engineering and I came to Unilag to study computer engineering. For a few years in Unilag, 3 years actually, gave me clarity on which course is supposed to be for what. So in Unilag, if I use that as a case study, computer engineering is more like a specialized electrical electronics engineering. So I know they were telling us we have some hardware equipment here, Arduino and stuff like that. So if that's the part of tech that you're interested in, you want to write programs that directly control hardware, right? So in the intersection between hardware and software, then computer engineering or electrical is where you want to navigate towards. In that, we also have systems engineering. It's still more like a cross between software and hardware, but more in line with robotics. So if that's the thing you want to go to into AI, but not just software, you want to program robots and stuff, systems engineering. But if you are purely a software person, you want to learn software, you want to write code, I want to program and then make your computer to stop. That is computer science, not computer engineering. In computer engineering, for the 3 years I was there, we learned just like one programming language. I crossed over to close to computer science, like the first 2 years, we learned like four. And then we go in depth. I don't know if you follow. So just like seeking for you now, you need, like you specifically, you need a counselor, you need a coach, someone that will sit you down, hear what you are passionate about, and then tell you what your options are before you pick. If not, if you just keep applying yourself here and there, you would have wasted time navigating in different directions before you find what is your path or what you are passionate about. So coming to Unilag, I think it was in year one, I started off programming itself. I just saw an online course. I watched like 5 seconds of the video. Somebody showed me the video, what to do a 3D assignment. Like 5 seconds of the video, and I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So I kept studying it. So because I was in computer engineering, it was distracting me from school. I had like 11 course units I would do. And when I leave, I would do learn programming online, and I was just doing all that. By the way, when I was doing all this, I didn't even have a laptop. Like I didn't have a laptop. The phone I had, Nokia E5. I don't know if anybody here knows Nokia phones. Like it had buttons, literally. If you want to read a PDF, you will scroll from left to right, then scroll to the right again. It's not today that I just tap and all that. So when I was in the community, given had laptops, I was in school. So I had to literally beg for laptops every time I want to go. I would come in the night when everyone is using their laptop and I said, can I use your laptop for 1 hour? I would use that on the weekend. So that's basically how I started. It was many years, it was 2018, just a few years back when I got my first laptop. And by then I was already working. So I started learning programming from 2017. It took 2 years before I even got my first job in 2019. So when I learned, I remember when I started, I would learn for loops, I would learn arrays. And when I came to pointers, I started with C. I would study the videos, try to do something. I would literally have headache, like my head would start banging. So I would use the laptop and leave it. I would look for something else to do. As soon as the headache calms down, I'm going back to what I was studying. So I was on and off like that because I didn't have a direct mentor. I would learn for 1 month. When I get stuck, I would leave it for weeks, come back. So the whole of 2017, I was playing that game. 2018, I was playing that game. It was in the 2019 I got an opportunity to get my first job, an internship, and that's how my journey literally started. When Microsoft happened, I was still a student. I was in school, and this one now is funny. The first day I wanted to learn programming, the first day I wrote a for loop and I ran the code and it passed. I felt that I arrived. I went online, I looked for a new template, I drafted a CV and I applied to Microsoft. Like, it was that serious. I felt that this thing worked, I know how to program, but in fact, nobody even answered me. But that's how much drive I had. I started applying to Microsoft from the time I started learning how to program. So from 2018, I applied multiple times, nobody even answered me. 2019, I applied multiple times. It was until the ending of 2019, 2020, I even got to know about data structures, algorithms, lead code, and then I started learning all these things, practicing. By 2021, when I was reached out to be interviewed, what the recruiter told me, I didn't apply. What the recruiter said is that they had my CV in their data bank and they felt an opportunity at open. Am I interested? Are you following? So all those unsuccessful attempts already puts me like in the pool of candidates that they would reach out to whenever an opportunity presented itself. So if you're here like that also, whatever you know, if there's an opportunity, take it. You don't have to be 100% ready. You don't have to wait until you feel like, oh, I'm ready to be a Microsoft engineer now. I feel like I can code anything before you apply. Take the opportunities that you have. If you apply and nobody gets back to you, just take it that, oh, it's the learning phase. You will get better. 6 months from now, you'll be better than where you were. 1 year from now, you'll be better than where you were. And then at some point, you'll be too good for Microsoft to ignore. Do you understand? Microsoft is more desperate to get you than you are to come in because they don't want to lose talent. There's the AI war. Google is trying to win the war. OpenAI is trying. Facebook is trying. Apple is trying. Microsoft wants to win that war. So in order to win that war, we need the best talent. So we literally have people whose job is to go and look for you if you are good and to bring you in. So that's how you need to change. That's the mindset you need to carry. And Microsoft is actually looking for me. I just need to build my skill to the point where they will be interested in what I can offer. And before you know, you're on board and you're writing code for Microsoft. When I got my job with Microsoft in 2021, I was still a student. I didn't have a degree yet. And it didn't matter. The recruiter told me at this point it was up to me if I could combine it with school or not. And I guess what my answer was. So I've been here for 2 years now and it's been glorious. So that's just characterized. Thank you. One more thing, so for your own question about being an art student, the way tech is going now is that people who are cross-disciplinary even have an advantage compared to those of us that are purely computer scientists. If I should ask you now, if we want to build an application that will be used in a hospital, a doctor that learned how to code and a programmer that is just trying to understand medicine, who is in a better position to build that application? That's literally what's happening. So you bring your knowledge from your field. Tech is just an enabler. One of my friends that challenged me, he studied biochemistry in Unilag. He was a very brilliant student, so it's not like he absconded from school. His name is Ekene Ashinze. He was working with us here in Lagos before he moved to Dublin. He was in a field that is not even in STEM. He was in biochemistry, not in tech directly, but he combined that with tech. He first worked at OP. I don't know how many of you know the OP app. You are probably using something that he worked on before coming to Microsoft, and today he's in Dublin in the UK and it's combining what the skills he got from biochemistry with the skills he has built in tech. So if your background is in a different field, what I'm telling you is that it gives you an edge, it is your advantage. Use it to your advantage. You get that? Yeah, thank you.
Edge, I also said something. You said? Yeah, you also said something. There was something about mentor, someone, someone, the mentor, the mentor. Yes, it was him. Yeah. Right. So I know there are sets of 5 questions here, starting with you.
My name is Daniel. So I'm in the end of Microsoft for a very long time. So I'm wondering, most of the programs that Microsoft do, most times it's always about coding, like hackathon stuff. Yeah, so I was wondering, how does Microsoft support the UI UX designers? Like, as you're looking at me, my laptop is the best console. You can ask them. So I don't, my laptop has do some of these things that you guys are involved in. My laptop has most of this stuff that you guys are involved in. So most of the time, I just focus on the one that my laptop can do, which is UI and UX. So, but Microsoft does not support almost any program. Almost any program that's UI UX.
So your question is program specifically for UI. Hello. You are speaking into it. So the question here is, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to work at Microsoft? Okay, that's the question here. That's the question. Nobody's agree. The question is, people who study computer science in the university, people who study computer science in the university, do they have anything over regular students like me who is respectful also? And if they do, what are the advantages? Number 4 question. Actually, I know you wanted to ask the question. He has answered it. What's the question here? This is the question.
So my name is Patrick. The question I'm asking goes like this. Uh, and so how do you keep your technology skills current?
How do you, like Sky said, continuous, yeah. Yes. No, I can't. The last question before we go to this side. I will put in Tayo, because of this question you asked around UI UX. I know that you're a technical designer. It will come in handy for you to address, his own particular question. All right.
Absolutely. So my question is, everyday technology advanced. So my question is like, so what makes me unique in technology? It's different from what makes other people unique in technology. So in the future, what if AI or another technology advancement replaces what makes me unique? So like, I'm basically not unique in the aspect because there's something that can do my job. So like companies, they'll not be like work offer. So like that's one of the problem behind Nigeria. Like our job doing like our past parents, everyone like because they won't make them unique. Technology replace them this. So what can I do to make me unique? Technology will not be able to like replace me. So I can still keep on making my money doing things.
Okay, so I think for some reason, the set of questions we have are kind of close. Design, continuous improvement, and continuous learning. But before we come to you guys here, My friend there was asking program around UI UX. Let me allow Tayo to speak to that. Then, our experts.
Hello everyone. Hi, my name is Tayo. I'm a technical designer with Microsoft Teams experience. So I think the thing about UI UX as a design concept is that it's just one part. So like a guy was giving an example of when he learned how to write codes and it was already exciting. He knew about data structures and coordinates and all of these things. So UI UX is just one bit of it. It is like learning, like we don't have sessions for writing codes. Like in the big space of it, being a designer is more than just creating templates or UIs or designs. Like it is about the core concept of design, down to the experiences, how you are communicating with people, what you want people to follow. So if you try to expand more design skills rather than just um, like visual design skills, like there's this website called interaction.org, interaction design.org. You can check it out, and it has everything about design in terms of tech, so that you are not limited to just UI UX skills. There are so many, even program design is still part of design. There are a lot of things that designers I think we should explore, and those are the things that are more tangible long term. Yeah, there's technical arts in design, there's experience design, there's so many parts of it. So, yeah. I hope that helps.
Okay, so I'll take the question. I think we have got two questions, but they are kind of the same. The one about how to keep your tech skills relevant, and the other one is how do you still stay relevant in tech, because of changing landscape. So for me, what what we even advocate in Microsoft is what we call the growth mindset, right? You need to have that growth mindset, and growth mindset means that you need to accept that a short summary of it is that you don't know everything, right? What you know is not the all and all of everything. And so what that means is that if you have that mindset, if you think that way, that, oh, I don't know anything, what happens is that you become eager to learn more. And learning more is what keeps you relevant. I think someone said recently, I don't know whether it was a recent thing, but I read it recently somewhere where they said the future is really not about what you know, but about your ability to learn and unlearn things. Meaning that the things you already know, at some point, they're not going to be relevant again, so you have to do away with it. But the skill you need to have is how do I recognize that this thing I know is no longer relevant? I need to stop it. And the other bit of it is how do I now learn new things? So being able to condition yourself to get to that point where you're saying, okay, I am curious, I need to learn more. I'm hearing there's this new trend. How do I learn about this thing? How does this thing apply to what I'm doing right now? How can I incorporate this new thing into what I'm doing now? It's a great skill to have, and that demonstrates your growth mindsets, and that would help you stay relevant in whatever tech field that you choose to specialize in. Personally, what I do is every year I always have my personal development plan. And in my personal development plan, one thing I would pick is what is that new thing I want to learn that I don't know about. Maybe something that people are always talking about. That's one thing there. Another thing I will put in my personal development plan is how do I improve my skills in what I am doing right now? How do I more more of an expert in what I'm doing, right? And then, of course, another thing is, okay, maybe there's something else that the organization is mandating us to learn about, and you add that to the list. But I make sure I do that every year, and year on year, I figure out at the end of the year, I set it as maybe like a goal, right? People talk about New Year resolutions and all that. But the goal at the beginning of the year, I have 3 things I want to learn in this year, and that way it helps keep me up to date in one thing or the other that's it's trending or taking over the industry. Because at the end of the day, technology, the way the technology industry is, it keeps evolving. It's not the same. If you even think about the technologies that you've used in the past up until now, they are not the same. It keeps evolving, it keeps changing. There are new discoveries. People are improving, the hardware they use and all of that. So changes will always come, but what you need to learn how to do is how to, embrace those changes by learning to quick, learn things quickly. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so for the question, I just want to address what Tayo said, just to give more clarity. So what she was trying to say is that from where you are to where you are dreaming of, there are some intermediary steps. Do you understand? So I think for most of us here, I don't know if I'm exactly correct. Microsoft was not our question. Right? So Microsoft is in a class of companies called big tech. Right? So you have Facebook, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft. So the requirements, the kind of problems we are solving at this level, sort of require your skills to have matured to a certain point. But before you get here, like for me now, I worked at a startup. I interned here for 6 months, a regular startup. I worked at an irregular startup for 2 years. At that irregular startup, you are not sure if you'll be paid at the end of the month. You just know that you are doing something, you are learning. And if there's money you'll be paying to, there's no money, you wait till the coming months before coming to Microsoft. So when I started, I probably was just doing C. I started with C as a language, as a programming language. I didn't have where to apply it. So I moved from there to Python. I didn't have where to apply it. So I decided to learn a framework, right? Django as class. I didn't know how to apply it. Then I went on to start building platforms like backend engineering with web. So my skill was maturing from just learning a programming language to a framework to now I can build a platform. I can be a backend engineer. As a backend engineer, there are many other smaller companies that need my services that I can go work. My skill is enough to get me a job there. Do you understand? So after that, I reached a point where now in Microsoft, I'm just a software engineer. I solve problems. And ultimately, that's where you're going to. You don't just want to be a programmer or someone that writes code. The ultimate goal is that you want to solve problems, either for yourself or for your community or for the entire world. For like you want to solve global problems. So when you mature to that point where you're just like a software engineer, today if we have a problem to solve on our team, nobody has to keep you know how to write Python or Java or whatever tool is best. You go learn it and you can't solve the problem. But there are some steps to get there. I don't know if you understand. So with your skill as a UI UX designer, there are many other smaller companies you can work in and build products and mature to the point where you can now do like maybe a case study from end to end, propose the solution, write the check. And you now come to the point where Tara was speaking about. I don't know if you understand. Yeah, and then just use that as a segue to the person that was afraid of AI taking his job. So if you think of yourself as a programmer, yeah, ChatGPT will replace you, in the nearest future. I don't know if you understand. But if you think of yourself as a problem solver, then programming is just a tool. The programming language you're writing is just a tool. Think of it this way. Accountants in the 90s probably solved the accounting problem using some crude things. Maybe they used pen and paper before like spreadsheets came on board, and we have more advanced software tools that they can use today. But nevertheless, somebody with an accounting background will still find it easier to use Excel or to use tech to solve accounting problems compared to a regular person. Do you understand? I hope you understand. So you, with your computer science background as a programmer, you will find it easier to use ChatGPT or AI to solve problems compared to someone that doesn't have that background. So if you look at it from that mindset, that AI is simply trying to make your work easier. And over the years, change, become obsolete or still, you have to keep updating yourself as things change. So embrace the change, not out of fear, but more out of like productive. Like this has come to empower me to do more with less. Essentially, that's what AI is doing. And then just to touch on the question of like having an edge in computer science or not. Like I said, whatever background you have is your edge. What matters is how you use it to your advantage, basically. when I was learning programming, I ventured into front end engineering, and there was a point where I did UI UX, but the team was not UI UX thing. Like, I don't know if you haven't seen you will design, and when you look at it, you don't need any criticism. Even though you know that this is not it. This is not what it's supposed to be. So when I saw that, I know that I'm a logical person, I like calculations. I want something that has only one answer. I don't want to worry whether this view is big enough or this size 20 is big enough, or I need to find a particular font. And you give somebody and he says, you tried, but I'm not feeling it. I don't like that kind of feedback. You understand? For me, I want something that has a clear answer. This is the formula. It works or it doesn't work. The answer is correct, or it's not correct. So because I did that, I'm more inclined towards logic and calculation. I went to back end, JJ. Do you understand? I'm in the place of my strengths. It doesn't matter where you learn your own programming. If it's sit in the same place and it comes to back end, I can compete with you. But if I'm competing with someone that is more skilled in front end, they would leave me in the dust. Do you understand? So finding your edge and using it to your advantage is literally what gives you a place in the global market. Today, working in Microsoft, I work with colleagues that went to Harvard, that went to MIT, that went to Ivy League colleges. But all those skills, all those background, all that education, it doesn't count for much so long as you can build competence. At the end of the day, if I deliver on my job, nobody cares whether I went to Unilag or Harvard. Do you get it? So if you think of it, Harvard will give you an advantage, but because I built competence to that level, I can Harvard graduate. So that's the same sense in which you see yourself. Build competence to the point where whatever advantage anybody's background gives them becomes irrelevant. Thank you.
I think there's a question around this. Sorry, what's your name? Bellamy, right? Yeah. So you're asking what you need to work. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we'll touch on that then. Yeah. Okay. So I think you can work at Microsoft like we have been saying, right? Irrespective of whether you graduated from school or you're still in school or not. Right? Now, if I would drill in a little bit, because I feel like you want some specifics. If peradventure tomorrow you get a call to come to an interview at Microsoft, I feel like that's what you're asking, right? What do I need to know? How do I approach it? It depends. If it's for a software engineering role, for instance, you would need to understand data structures and algorithms to start. Because there are a couple of different sections of the interview that we go through. Right? I'm not talking about the introductory ones. Of course, you have some introductory interviews where they want to people know whether what's on your CV is what it is, right? So let's say you've scaled those ones. We agree. This is you, right? Now you come to the actual interview itself, right? So there are quite a number of different aspects to it. But I think the aspect for a software engineering role that is given more relevance is the coding aspect. So you will be asked to write, a very short snippet of code, right, to solve a problem, like he has been saying, right? So you could be asked to say something like, flip a string. I'm trying to do something more simple, right? So there's a string, below me. Write code to flip it. To start from I am until you get to the P, right? That could be the problem. Right? So the person is looking out for you, for your understanding of how the structure of the code should be. Is it modularized? He's looking at, what data structures are you using? Are you using array? Are you using star? Are you using list? What are you using? Right? How are you manipulating the elements in the code? Right? The array, how are you moving things around? Are you using the for loop? Right? Are you using the do while? All of those kind of things is what the person. I don't know how much programming background you have, but I'm trying to be specific because I feel like that's what you're asking. Right? So the person goes through all of these, understands your understanding of code. Right? If you're able to go through that, the other interviews can ask you around, SDLC, how
aspect of it. The most practical aspect is what I just explained about being able to code, right? So if sometimes it comes in 4 or 5 sections, right? Depending, right? So if you go through these sections and you meet the bar, the folks that interview you are convinced that for the role and the level you're looking to come in at, that you'll be able to handle. And then I think that's all you need, right? Nobody's asking you to bring any certificate or anything. Yeah, there could be some background checks to be sure, that your background is what you say it is, but on the surface, that is what you require, to join Microsoft and start. Does that answer it?
So anyway, I don't know if you're interested in being a software engineer here, but just for this, I'm so sorry, very. So I want to get to the PM part of it in case there's anybody here who's interested in being a product manager or so for PMs, if you get a call to interview, right, a lot of it is going to be based on your experience. And there's going to be a lot of behavioral questions. If you find it, they're essentially judging, whether you have leadership skills, know how to communicate, communication skills, um, problem solving skills. Also, writing documentation is also important, right? Now I know that, and then I mean a whole bunch of others. Now I know that for some of you might be coming from school, and if you've had the opportunity to have like previous work experience, so you can talk about how you dealt with customers, how you're able to prioritize customers, how you're able to solve problems, with really great results. But if you don't have that experience, you can also do things proactively to kind of like beef up your resume and your profile. So you can take on your personal projects. If you have some of your colleagues here who are working on engineering projects, you can be the PM for them, right? You can go out there and start doing the requirements gathering. Okay, this is the problem we're trying to solve. So how do we go about it? Then you do all the PM things, and then the engineers will now build the actual solution. So that is you adding to your experience without having had to work for a specific company, right? But always remember there are some key skills, like I mentioned, leadership, communication, problem solving, how to deal with customers, being innovative, how to be an innovative thinker, and stuff like that. A whole bunch of them. So I guess if you're interested, we can talk more about it during the mentorship session. Yeah.
Job openings are posted on our careers website. It's careers.microsoft.com. So if you go to careers.microsoft.com, you can do something that we call turning on alerts. So what you do is you go there, you use a filter to select the kind of role that you want to be hired into. You can also select the location. Let's say I'm looking for jobs in Nigeria. I can select Nigeria as the location. If I'm looking for software engineering jobs, I'll select the role as software engineer, the location as Nigeria, and I'll turn on an alert. Turning on an alert is you add your email address to it. So what that means that anytime they post an opening, you will get an email telling you that Microsoft has an opening for this position. So you can go there, look at the position, if you qualify for it, you can apply to that position. So that's I would say that's the way everybody, most of the people here, got hired. They applied on the careers page and then they got called for the interview. So that's something you can do. Turn on the alerts, and then when you receive one for a position that you're interested in, feel free to apply. And sometimes, when you apply, you may not get called, but that shouldn't deter you. Just keep trying. I remember
Unfortunately, it's not very easy to get entry level roles for PMs, like I understand. So if you have opportunity to come close, like customer care, customer support, and you get something, it's an easy entry into like the company, and then you can transition into a PM roles. And then while she was speaking, something came to mind. We probably need to follow up with them. So there are many programs that Microsoft runs that can give you visibility aside like the regular applications. We have the Microsoft Leap, we have the apprenticeship program, we have the Imagine Corp. So there are different programs like that. Some of them are for ladies, some of them are for students, some of them are for people that have projects, right? Some of them are people that are out of school specifically. So we have different programs like that that gives you an added opportunity. And then, yeah, like you said, we also have internship opportunities where you can come intern. So the barrier for entry as an intern is lower than as like a seasoned professional. So we'll probably follow up with the leadership of CIH to give you ideas on the different programs that align with your background so that that gives you that puts you in a better place. And hopefully someday you can also join us at Microsoft. Thank you.
Thank you very much. How many questions more? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. If we do stay here today, we will lose the mentoring session. So I think what you would do is, if you have any question, or if your question is yet to be taken, please send all those questions to Mr. Sergi, please. Right? And he will get it to us, or even before you leave, those questions will be answered. That is one. Two, I know that you have been broken into 3 groups. Some of you would go into the software engineering track or mentorship. Others, the guys, the pluggers, the guys who plug people together, the product managers or development guys, product managers here. I know that you also have a group. There is also the systems, I mean, AI, hardware, robotics, and all that. That's another group, right? So you would walk you through who stays where you get your mentors that will come speak to you. But I think we need to call something out. Okay, all right. This year, August, we ran something called the high school internship program. How many of you know of it? High school internship program. We ran it through the month of August, right? And essentially is internship for people. High school is a bit foreign to us, secondary school. People who are in secondary school, just about leaving secondary school, or maybe they're in their first 1 year, 2 year gap years from secondary school. We run an internship program 4 weeks, and interestingly, one of the best standout students from our first cohort came out of CIH. I'm not saying it just because we are in CIH. Guys, because of the Gaffers Award for the best student, and I think Peter, where's Peter? Where's Peter? Peter, come. I didn't plan this, right? But the reason why things like this happen is we say it because it's one of the. So when you hear it from him, it's as he's just saying it as it is. And the reason why he's saying it is to encourage you. Okay? So I'll allow Peter just give me 1 minute, 2 minutes back. After which I would allow my bosses here, to take their leave, but they will come back when they meet you at the mentoring session. Once they leave, God's favor, I hear that you do a lot of spoken words, right? You give us some of that skill set. Then Wale will come. introduce the different projects that we have here, and we see we critique. Afterwards, we break into the mentoring session, which will start maybe around 1:15 or so that we can have at least an hour, 1.5 hours. Then by 2:30 or 3, we are out of here. Does that sound like a plan? Does that sound like a plan? Yes. All right, so let's hear from Peter. Can you all give a round of applause?
It's a fantastic experience. I got to learn a lot of things. Things that I haven't been exposed to before. Trust me, it's already fantastic. I got to meet with mentors like Mr. Yemi, Mr. Yu, Ati, and a lot more. And these people have really played a pivotal role in shaping me into the tech guru and becoming. Achieve your dreams. I want to if I don't mention the food at Microsoft. So then nutritious and delicious, and you get to get as much as you want. Yeah, if you want the alternative, stop serving it. Not working. So you're not nutritious.
I like that right there. Like, going to pursue. Yeah, the truth be told, I only feel you understood it. But think about it. Somebody out of 20 people becomes the best overall. Now, the question we ask, think about across Lagos, different strata, and the best of the five came out of Abeson Estate. Think about it. It means we have talent across the board. So don't give up. Keep keeping on. Just in a few, just in a cheeky time, your story will be the next. And with that, God's favor, we're gonna hear those spoken words.
Imagine a world where young people that want to consider some technology was creators of it. Stop imagining. Because it is here. Yeah, CIH education is not just about opening our minds to knowledge, it's about opening our minds to opportunities. We come from neighborhoods where crime and poverty are the norms, but we will not be defined by our surroundings. We will not let our background put our back to the ground. Instead, we find power in knowledge, innovation, and in learning. Our nights are filled with studying, our days with ambition. We are the next generation of change makers, and we will not be denied. We are the hope of our communities, the light that shines in the darkness. We and the one that shines brighter than billion stars. Here we break boundaries higher than Mount Everest. The fire that burns within us is brighter than 1,000 suns. We are fierce and fearless, unstoppable in our pursuit of knowledge. Like bacteria that we build the future. We shatter ceilings, break down barriers, and reach for the stars. See into the space where leaders dare to dream. Young minds are open to being architects of their own future. Here at CIH, impossible possibilities break free from their chains. We are not to blame. We do not be behind. Like Malala, we fight for a better world. Like Bill Gates, we build gates of success. Like Elon Musk, we reach for the stars. But how do we reach for the stars when it gets to you? Like that boy on his way to school, on an empty stomach with tattered uniforms and overworn sandals. But an heart and mind filled with hope. It's curious to know more about the world. So are we. Most times without the essentials we need to know. But our minds and hearts are open to learning. We refuse to leave our voice of life being taken words. We relish the insults of running away from saying wrongs and run out of place. The boiling point of water is equals to 100 degrees Celsius. The passion that was within us is higher than that. We are not the generation of change makers waiting for the world to change. What to do?
I can be so sure. What does that mean? That means was coming from there inside them. So is Wale ready now? Wale is ready for but before Wale comes through. Okay, so before Wale shows up with the presentation, I think we have two parents here. Where's Mrs. Mommy Nancy? Where's Mommy Nancy? Mrs. Innocent, right? Yes. And we also have Mr. Adeomo here. Could you please let's recognize I was also told that alumni were future of. So alumni Jonathan, right? Where's Jonathan?
Okay, so we have Jonathan in the building. Jonathan, where are you? Jonathan Godwin. This is one of our students that got into Massacre scholarship, and they say in Nigeria to give back, to do his 3 months internship with an organization. That's Jonathan, please. Thank you.
This Jonathan, sorry, this Jonathan. Jonathan. Godwin. But you remember what the guy said? What he said when he spoke about somebody, what the ambition was like, that same person sat here, that same person interpreting. We have a representation of what we see your potential future being in Jonathan. So don't give up. I'll allow Jonathan to say some few words. But Wale, are we ready?
How many presentations? Tell me. How many? 11. Trust me, we can't do 11. Uh, yes. Present. How many have you shown? 7 show and tell. 7 show and tell. Okay. Yes, but so far you have queued it up so well that it doesn't take time. The mentoring session is also very key for us. We need to do that. But while they make that happen, Jonathan, we just want to get you what's going on. All right? Since you were part of sitting here to where you are and you're back in the country in terms of right? Let's just go on that journey. 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Sorry, still a bit of alright. Because I wasn't ready for it. But I'm here, I'm glad. I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm not going to keep us, I'm not going to say so much. I managed to. I'll just say, I think what I'll share with you. Everything is like this. Okay, so I think I'll share my biggest learning from this year because I just for my internship period, I just completed my internship, and I'll share my biggest learning. And it's the fact that as you are starting out from this job, you can hear me. Okay, I think I'm sharing my biggest learning from my internship period. Hi, there, I'm Jonathan. We second year students at the sorry, I joined this conversation. I'm student at the the global leadership and yes, I'm into products and management projects. So I was saying I'll share my biggest learning from my internship period this and it's the fact that as we go on your journey, expect I know it's something that's probably a part of it, but expect that you're going to probably get to a point where everything will be very tough. Because I currently had to deal with a lot of things for the past 2 months. And during that time, you have to keep up your productivity, you have to keep up your grades. I think at school to do, I had like 5 projects I'm working on. I had 4 different people I was working with. And I had to focus on every one of these people and still do my schoolwork. So I would say that in those times, it would be good to you need to find something to ground yourself. So as you're trying to save the world, it's trying to change everything. Also remember that you need to build up this with your mental your capacity, your emotionality, and also be kind to yourself. There are times you're not going to have the answer, like everything will be complicated and chaotic, but you're going to do this. And you got this far, and you didn't come this far just to go this far, right? Thank you so much.
So thank you, Wale. 11 projects, 7 will be demoed. Let's see how we can get that crowd from the night. So this is the next give an overview of the different projects. And the one you can speak, and the one that will demo the demo. Over to you. I'm going to start with what transfers, and that will be economic here. And the reason I'm starting with them is simple. This has to be a time, despite their special needs, the time to get something ready. As when we were at the office on Friday, we were still working on this. So back in the office, we have right? But I'm getting that in. Majority of them are actually functions that we're done. Don't even have share last night. But I'm just saying, so I think it's only fair to allow us to approach it. So I'm going to start with this young man here. one of the reasons I started is one that already. So this is one of our supplier students. Uh, so his name is Onide Michael. Michael is an AI future for Instagram and Facebook. Um, it's not due to present actually, but the reason I am presenting his work is because I remember taking that class that very day, and I said, see, everybody make sure you put this online, let me see what you can do, right? And among the only people that was in the class, it was the only person that took the initiative and it came. The class was not a week, and right here you can see the stats. Michael has about 571 shares, and it's not up to week. About 1,000 people have used the app, and it has over 13,600 impressions. The thing about most of what they are doing here is that it's exciting that you guys are here. Like I personally can't wait to hear some of the things that are going to be unfold in the mentoring session because sometimes familiarity is the same thing. They heard a lot of Stavali, obviously coming from Microsoft. I'm sure it's supposed to store something in their heart. So that's for Michael. I also have Peter. Peter, unfortunately, I'm not sure we to demo this project. Peter has an inventory and stock keeping application that is currently working on. But sadly, he has not been able to keep it online. It still resides on the system. And as our last lines, I'm not sure if he will be on the database part of the site. I also have David. So we have a collaboration, David, Matthew, and Emmanuel, who are working on the learning management system. Right? Huh? What's an NSA?
He says NSO. In Nigeria, so around the top.
Okay, you know what? Let me talk about it very quickly.
After there was no, we only saw years make this type of impact. And also, we want to so we, yeah, what was this? We start where the website, first have the website, and we also have to teach people like us how to balance their family.
Thank you very much. I think we're about to get to it. All right. I also have a very nice app here. Unfortunately, they not built it into the player yet. I think I would love for them to talk about it. They will give guys to public but not until you guys got here that is stopped. They were still trying to really to explain PR, but the moment you guys got here, you told them to stop doing it. So I would also want to get an opportunity to talk about the solution for see you.
My place is automated healthcare robotics. It is integrated into two parts for the pregnant women and the people with stroke, disability, and ALS, which is also known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. The exoskeleton robotics only have to have signals from the brain, which is also known as the EEG, electroencephalography from the brain, sending it to an AI integrated system that converts the signals from the brain into a particular language. And that same system also converts it directly into a mechanical language, sending it to the Arduino board, the pneumatic and the hydraulic system, making the robot able to move according to the brain signal.
So there are most times whereby our mothers feel so much pain while giving birth. There's so much pain, so much. I asked my mom, and she told me that she slapped the doctor when she wanted to give us our fifth child. So I felt so much hurt in my mind. I decided to make a solution to that. By making a gynecologist chair, whereby in the sense that it has a robotic arm, it helps the woman to push. Instead of the woman holding the doctor, there's an arm there where she holds it. The robot can automatically push it. It's a baby extract with it. Where the baby is like a plastic ring. It's made of silicone rather. The silicone goes in, holds the baby, draws it little by little, it brings the baby out small. It's very, very fragile because you cannot just bring the baby with us. But it's very history and all that. So it's big little by little. Just a very huge chair. I would love to show you guys, there's not much of it like it. So we are trying to run it through and we are trying to do the website for it on it. I'm just going to finish very soon. But I would love to show you guys. It's a very, very amazing project.
Yeah, I'm sure we can always see the right side and help us upload and give them a try. Alright. So I have really this project here. So I'm going to explain what you're about to see. I would have had really explain the projects, but in case you do not know, really suffers from cerebral palsy, which means that before he ever gets to say his first statement, it may take you, for example, 1 minute. I mean, with such a close power now, it takes like 5 seconds. So, really besides the animation, what it entails, but let's just go.
Hello, my name is Lunamy. I am a native of the Community Innovation Hub. I am interested in 3D animation and hope to use it as a medium to impact my community and the world at large.
They would like to get you. Don't worry, I'm waiting for you. Yeah. So yeah, use your hand and be pretty. Go on. Sorry, one more time. It loves a lot, trust me. There's only a dull moment around the I will be testing another music school. However, that is so I have Babylon is several awards winner. We can work with another secondary school. She's done a lot of projects. She's won a lot of industry awards. What we know, in fact, she's currently on last week's scholarship as well. You know, on the president.
Is a working age for like in made for navigation for easy navigation. So the component inside the switch, some jumper cables running through it. This is the sensor. So basically what this thing does is that when I turn this on, the switch is here for easy access and blind person. It vibrates and it gives this sound. So it indicates to the blind person that it's on and it's working fine. So whenever I'm about to come in front of an obstacle, it gives this sound, indicating that I need to like get away from that area. So it keeps giving us sound until away from obstacles around. Thank you.
The next person on my list, AY and Commander. Again, AY is also several awards winner. In fact, one of them is already got a scholarship to study outside the country in the US. Throughout that time, she was even supposed to the COVID was ending. She was supposed to go and represent Nigeria in Sweden for a water purifier system that they built, but because of COVID, I'm sure if you follow this very well that time, you must have seen her and it's all right, so what was your favorite?
Okay, so project, the name of our project is Bomas. Before I start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Vika Koya, and my partner Shubagi Kolara. As a fashion designer and also a team about the craft engine, and with our skill as a robotic engineer, we decided to combine our skills together in order to create a body massager for people. Because we noticed that even my mom, when she comes back from work late at night trying to put her table, she comes back complaining back pain and there'll be nothing for me to do. And anything I can give to her just console her, say, take antibiotics. And then she complains about her grandma doing the same thing. So we decided to come up with this, and she's going to walk you through how it works. Transmitted through material, providing a unique and friendly experience. Would like someone's responses as well. Now, while she's doing that, there were some challenges that we faced while trying to build this, and that's the fact that the DC model vibrator that we used, we can hardly get it here in Nigeria, and we have to ship it down. If you want to get it, you have to buy it from outside the country, and we do not have the money to do that, so we have to use just one. That's because we have to use just one vibrator because we will not get more vibrator. Hopefully, we will get more in the future. We'd like to raise more vibrator for this.
All right, thank you very much. Next on the list, I have a really young. It's because this project is Alright, so my project was a joint life. So because of the area where we live, so flood, we bring the mixes and all of that. So we built something like this block stuff so that water will get to the house after that. So one day I got to the house and I found out that there was broken part of it and I was like, why? So and so found out that it fell down because and so thinking of that and I thought of creating something that would help me easily. So I made it. So the one is here for him and the one is so that was like the end. And this time to us. So when this one it gives vibration therapy and it does writing operation and also helps reduce swelling from the and all of that. And so the company that used yeah, I don't know those vibration motors and the potential meter. So the potential meter here is used to control the density of vibration. In case if it's too much of the linear, you can just control it. So I have a lot of picture plans for this thing. So just like timer, you can set the equal timer for this. I want this to vibrate for like 30 seconds and all of that. So I have like a display screen, but I can just do it like a normal handheld device and so other picture plans with it. And so I don't know if you like to try it.
Alright, so I'm telling you, in this case, for light has been one of the major challenges. Because when I start, it's different from the that we have here so it's just not like that's the thing. I don't have bad shit that several of the tools are doing.
There's a power bank here. There's a power bank here. Yes.
Very much, Eric. So the next person on my list, it's a collaborative effort. That will be Darren and Diaz. So Darren and Diaz,
93%.
they call their solution SDG monitors, right? Using AI, augmented reality to enlighten people around the sustainable development goals. So I'll leave them talk about it.
So what it have does, between the target speed technology, so once the camera target speed, videos, WhatsApp, and get to learn about the SDGs. So I can also use this in a business space and technology space where you can use my participants or website and data. For example, in the fashion space, you can use this app. The user don't get to go through this stuff. You can be here, view bigger camera, view them. You can put on the clothes when they're in their mirror. You can check out the clothes here. So yeah, you can. So I'm having some errors here.
Okay. Thank you. I think let me help explain a bit further. I think what they do is a solution that allows you to get more information on each of the items that you have in your store. So the moment the image is scanned, the image automatically comes to life through the screen to which you're saying it's something similar to what IKEA does with their products. Something similar to that is what you have right. All right, so next on my list is a demo. Pelubi was built in VR
climate solution. Okay, so before I start, I'm going to need a volunteer to so okay, so I'll be explaining our sheet. So what this project is about, I'm advocating for climate change. And one of the climate actions from the UN is to clean up our environment. So in Nigeria, we are, well, many Nigerians, they are so used to the idea of throwing our trash everywhere to go after eating. Sometimes you think we don't know, like it's unconscious, we know, but I created this solution to create a self-consciousness in our mind, like after playing this game, you'll be reminded, like before you throw the trash on the floor, like, oh, I played this game. I was told not to throw trash on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to explain what's on her eyes. So what she's seeing now is an environment filled with trash all over the floor. They each have a corner, and there's recycle bins all over the place. They each have a color as well. So our job is to pick up one trash item and throw it into a trash bin of that exact same color. What do you say now? Okay, so when you're gonna walk off to one, this is how you walk. So you push that forward towards the direction of the trash item, you're gonna crash into it and try and pick it up. Yeah, got it. Okay, so you're gonna walk towards a trash bin with that same color and throw it in. You know, like use that. So that's basically the idea of it. You can find it on TikTok again. Okay, so you get the trash again. So what this does is create the idea of throwing our trash effectively. Also the idea of recycling. Because there are some bins where you only put plastics, some for only glass and the other bins for other items. Everybody like waste, wet stuff. Because yeah, clean the trash. When you clean trash, it's a very easy to understand way. It's for people to easily understand, and it's open to improvement. Like this is not the final product. This is the demo of it. I'm gonna add the scoring system later on. I'm gonna add many other things. Add big things for it, and I'm also taking suggestions on how I'm gonna do it. Yes. Thank you very much. All right, we have just 2 more to go. Um,
we are still having difficulty getting this project. So while they're trying to get it, I will do with uh, this project. So I have so I have really smart security. My name is Enrique. I'm passionate about solving problems that center around health, education, and security. This is what I really want to do. Security and security. So before I want into how this work, I would like to tell you the story behind this. I discovered how Nigeria has been working to security level, and I would like to explain it to the lowest level. So at home, I have two wonderful younger siblings. So whenever I'm partying, when I go to my home, take my stuff, I use it. And I'm noticing things hard to recording. I want to go do this because they approach, but there is no evidence. I don't know how to put it, I don't understand. So then I was like, how can I solve this issue? So I came up with this mathematical system. So how does this work? So this is the what you see here is an exosomic system. I set the motion. So by the time my younger sister opened the door, this thing was not sending me a call. It just sent me a call to my phone. Now I have the notification that yes, not only a call, it's going to make a sound, a loud sound. I was scared and what is going to don't close for us, so I will not realize that it's coming. So I added a GSM group that able to call, added an ultrasonic sensor that allows instant emotion that someone has actually opened the door. And also a buzzer that make the sound. We have the Arduino Uno inside and some jumper cable. So I would like to say this. I am a perfectionist. I love to give my team the perfect order. So this morning I was trying to even my life is talking about the devil. I was trying to confirm my project so I won't have any issues when I'm presenting it. And I brought this thing and I realized I got the GSM many times. I also print well. So I didn't want to present it because I was in the GSM with the promise. Actually said you should not be I was going to them you got the GSM with the so now if I'm going to test I only have the browser working. Let me try it out. I need a power of this. So what I did, I set distance of the transmission sensor to 10 centimeter. So the door from the door to the smart system is now 20 centimeter. So once the transmission sensor senses the pressure, it brings the noise and make the connection. It's very important. It's not something it's painful. This is not something so painful. But I got the GSM point, so
Asking for a copy behind the camera.
Yes. Let me include this. I intend to add a camera. So I just don't get the situation. I see what my sister was doing. I see what's happening. So I intend to do that. Thank you very much. Try to let me just bring it up. But it looks as though we're getting a bit of a short place. So before I wrap up, I would also like to talk about the security criteria. I think it should be a business service when we talk about it. I'll create this simple. When we look at this, it was proud. Like what you're looking at was built, coded, and assembled by everybody. People continue